Santham Academy. Welcome to Digital Kaksha. To get updates on new videos, click the subscribe button and the bell icon.
Hello students, here is your English teacher with another chapter called The Last Lesson by Alphonse Daudet. Here, the poet is a French novelist who has written many short stories, and one of them is here as a part of your syllabus. The narrator talks about the time of Franco-Prussian War, which was fought between 1870 and 71. Here, in this war, Prussia won and France lost the war, due to which there were certain changes that were brought in French provinces. So, based on those changes in French province, the story goes like this. The protagonists are Mr. Hamel, who was a French teacher, and Franz was the student, one of the students of Mr. Hamel. Very often, Franz used to reach school very late. So today also, he was late for the school. While on his way to school, he saw some unusual things happening. Actually, that day he was not in a mood to go to school, and on his way, he got a thought that he should bunk the class. But very soon he gave up that idea, and he continued to move towards his school. When he reached near town hall, he found a news bulletin board, and there was a huge crowd in front of it. People were trying to read what was put on that bulletin board. Normally, since last 2 years, every bad news used to come from here. Now Franz thought, what's now? But still, since he was getting late, he was in a hurry, he left that there and proceeded and moved forward. On his way to school, he met Watcher the blacksmith. The blacksmith asked him to go peacefully, not to be in hurry. Franz thought that all the possibilities there, that this watcher might have seen me going to school late every day. So today, he is trying to make fun of me. So he did not pay attention to what he was saying. And then he continued. While on his way, he found certain things unusual. What were those unusual things? When he reached the gate of the school, he found perfect silence, as if there wasn't any school. But he knew that it wasn't a holiday. Still, he continued to move forward. Gradually, he reached to his classroom. In the normal days, when there is a lot of noise in the class, children are moving around here and there. In between that, Franz used to come late, and from the back door, he used to slip into the class and take his seat. But today, the scene was entirely different. Everything was, although very quiet, but a sort of solemnity was there. He was unable to understand what happened today. Why is this day different from other days? There were many questions popping up one after another in his mind, but he kept patience. Somehow he reached the class there he found his teacher, Mr. Hamill, in a different attire. Normally, Mr. Hamill used to have those dresses only during special occasions. Now here, this particular thing again made him think, what is special about today? Moreover, he found some elderly people from village sitting at the back of his class. Now what happened to them today? Why are they attending the class? He was unable to get the answer. Still, without asking and without being restless, he went and sat at his place. The moment he sat there, he looked around. He found all the students very calm, very quiet. The teacher was not in a happy mood, but was looking little disturbed. Now the thing was that, what should he do? When he saw his friends quiet, he also sat quietly. After he took his seat, Mr. Hamill spoke. And he said, he informed the students in a very low voice that this is the last class in French. Oh, all the students, for them it was like shaking the earth. They were feeling very bad, and many thoughts arose in their mind. Same was the condition with Franz. Today his teacher, he found that, was not very angry as he used to be in the normal days. Normally, whenever he was coming late to the class, his teacher used to give him one scale on his palm for coming late. He used to punish him. That was his daily routine of getting one scale on his palm and then going and sitting there. But today his teacher was very patient, very loving, and so lovingly he told him to take his seat. The change in his attitude, in his behavior, was a big question for Franz. Now, when the teacher told that this is the last class in French, he was almost blown out. Now he was thinking, why is it so? The teacher told that order from Berlin has come that only German should be taught in the schools. So the medium of instruction should be German, not French. As the teachers living there for so long have been teaching the students in French, they were not knowing anything about German. So it was shocking as well for the teachers to leave that province and find another work. So Mr. Hamill added that tomorrow I am going to leave this place. My sister is packing up the things at home, and tomorrow morning we will be leaving this French province and going back. All of a sudden, the world of France changed. The entire perspective changed. Few moments before, Franz was considering the bag as very heavy. He was thinking, why are these books there for me to study? But now at this point of time, he found that they were his best friends. Oh, I will be parting from my nice friends called books. And these books will no longer be in use. He felt very bad. Now, after that, he went in flashback. At that particular moment, he went in flashback. Now he could recollect everything in sequence. He understood what was there on the bulletin board that day. What was it that people were reading very carefully? Why was there a crowd? Why did Watcher the blacksmith tell me that not to be in a hurry? Now I am getting why the entire scene at school was serene. He could get the link. He could make out the series of it. He was feeling very bad. He was in those thoughts. All of a sudden, he heard his name called. Actually, the teacher the previous day had asked the students to recite participles because Mr. Hamill had taught them participles. And he wanted his students to learn and recite them well and come the next day. So this was the day when Franz was supposed to recite participles very well and come. But he knew nothing about participles. He was not knowing what are participles. He was not knowing ABC of participles. And so when Mr. Hamill called out his name, he came back to the same world. Now he had no answer. In a hurry-burry, he mixed up the words and sentences initially and was feeling very bad for not being able to answer the teacher. He actually felt very bad. And so, the teacher was telling something about that. The teacher said that it is the normal practice of the people of Alsace that they don't take studies very seriously. He blamed even his parents that they never took his studies very seriously. He blamed him even for not being so attentive in the class. Not only this, Mr. Hamill blamed himself for not being a very cautious and good teacher because at times when he wanted to go for fishing, he used to declare holidays for the children. And we know that children love holidays so much. Many a times, it was Mr. Hamill who sent Franz to water the plants in his garden. Now, everyone was in regret for not utilizing the time properly, for not being attentive in the class. Franz had the feeling, had I been more attentive and careful during my classes, I would not have regretting today. But time once lost is lost forever. That day, Mr. Hamill taught them the lesson that he had prepared for that particular class. And that day, Franz was very attentive in the class. And he could understand every single thing that Mr. Hamill explained. Now he was regretting it was not so difficult to understand what he was teaching. The only thing was that I was supposed to be more attentive. I never valued the lessons that he was teaching. But what could he do that day? Nothing. Nothing was there in his hand. The only thing was that he and Mr. Hamill could live that short span of time together. Other children were also there. They were also feeling very bad. And then Mr. Hamill taught them the importance of mother tongue. He said that you are at such a point that many of you don't know French very well. And tomorrow onwards, you will be learning in German. Neither you are good at French, nor you will be good in German, as it will be new for you. Now, what they could do was only to regret. And he told that never to leave mother tongue. He encouraged and motivated the students that they should always respect their mother language. And French they should be associated with. Right from their childhood, they have been learning everything in French, yet they have not become the experts of it. And tomorrow onwards, the next day onwards, German is going to be the medium of instruction for students. How difficult it would be for them to understand and know what the teacher is talking about. Again, they have to start from ABC because it's a new language. Learning a language is not everyone's cup of tea. So here, Mr. Hamill had emotions, but he was trying to hide them. Here, Mr. Hamill was not in a position to have a formal goodbye even, because he too was very emotional at that time. After the class, by the time at 12 o'clock, when the church bell struck 12, it was time for Mr. Hamill to say goodbye to the students. That was the end of his class that day. He became very emotional. You know why? Because for around 40 years, he had been serving there as a teacher. He was teaching the students French. Now, after spending such a long time at a particular place, how difficult it was for him to leave that place. He had good attachment, good connectivity with that place as well as the students of that particular place. He loved that province so much. But now, all of a sudden, there is a change which he never expected. At the dismissal of the class, Mr. Hamill became emotional. He got so emotional that his throat got choked and was finding it difficult to speak. So what he did, he just wrote something on the board in the biggest font. What was it? Viva la France. That means long live France. He wanted that children should never leave their mother tongue. Even after learning German, they must equally love their mother tongue. And their first priority should be to learn French, and they must talk with their parents and among themselves in French. In that way, they could value their mother tongue. Dear students, what lesson do we learn from this particular chapter? Yes, of course, we learned a lesson, a great lesson of life, that time once gone is gone forever. We must value the present in order to have a better future. But if we don't value our present, our future is going to be in dark. Every single thing, every single day, teach us some or the other things. It is upon us how we take it. If we take that every day is teaching me some other thing, we are improving every day. But if we take it so lightly that I have plenty of time, like friends, we will end up in regret. So dear students, start valuing time, start valuing what you have, because the opportunities never come again and again. Whatever you get at a particular time, value it, grab it, so that you get success in life. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more.